Good afternoon, everybody. We're almost at the end. Guys, stop embarrassing me. We have guests today. I know what you're doing. So, first of all, I can't believe we're almost at the end. You know, it feels like a month, but also like a couple of days at the same time. I can't explain it, but you guys have been having a good time. We're almost at the end. We're doing all right? I love you. Who said that? So today, we have a very, very special symposium. It's going to require your participation. Also, it's going to be an interactive masterclass. And we are bringing an exceptional group from New Orleans, the birthplace of the music that we're studying. And this group, Take Me to the River All-Stars, is a Grammy Award-winning group. And they're playing at the Montclair Jazz Festival, so we're all going to be there. So I would love it if before your performance or after, depending on what time you play, you can go and check them out. But this whole visit is made possible by the generous support of the GMAO Foundation. And they are the ones who really invested in making sure that we could bring a group that really represents New Orleans so that you guys can learn about New Orleans. And as jazz musicians, that is something we need to do. Those are the roots of jazz, and it's really important for us to have an understanding of that. And there's no better way to do that by actually learning from people who live there, who grew up in that culture. And this is an amazing, amazing opportunity for us. So I please want to make sure that you guys represent yourselves well, represent Jazz House well, be respectful, and be great audience members like I know you are. And I want to introduce the man who made all of this possible, and that is, of course, Tony Sylvester.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you. The Prima Foundation really devotes quite a bit of its efforts in New Orleans. Louis Prima was a native of New Orleans. Who's been to New Orleans in this group? Okay. I mean, it's a confounding city. It's like being in another country. It's a city that was the birthplace of jazz, but just 40, 50 years earlier, it was the center of the slave trade. And even during those years on Sundays in Congo Square, slaves would gather to share rhythms and spend time together. And those rhythms are the rhythms that you'll hear some of them today. And you hear them on records, you know, each and every day. So from my perspective, it's really an unusual place. You love it. And then you walk out of your house and there's a pothole that's about 10 by 20 that's been there for 2 years, and you just scratch your head. So it is a confounding, perplexing place, like being in a foreign country, as I say. But the people who I'm about to bring out will teach you a lot about not just New Orleans, but about the rhythm. So first, Brian Richburg, drummer par excellence, one of our first Prima Scholarship winners. We have Aaron Jambalat, who is from, he's a board member at Take Me to the River. He also works with the Grammy organization. And Brian, as you can see, is one of the best dressed drummers that we know. We have a Big Chief Bo, and you'll hear about how important it is to have that culture. This is royalty from New Orleans. Next, Rob Mercurio, bassist from Galactic. If you go to New Orleans and you go to Tipitina's, you should be grateful to Rob and his comrades for saving that institution. And last but not least, of course, is Martin Shore, Grammy winner. I don't know what to say about Martin other than, in trying to think of what he is, I think he's a cultural archaeologist. Did you think that's about right? Oh, that's it for me.
Tony Sylvester.
Well, thank you all so much for being here today. I know this is sort of like your symposium for the afternoon. We're very excited to be here. A big thanks to Jazz House Kids, the Montclair Jazz Festival, and of course the GMA and Prima Foundation for making this all possible today. As you can see on the screen, we're going to talk about sort of the rhythms and the rituals of New Orleans. I know we've been with some of you guys in your history classes this morning, between Bo, myself, and Martin. But today we're going to get a little bit more into it. And since we already had the introductions, I think we'll just sort of get right into it as we begin there. Show of hands, how many of you guys have heard of and or know about Congo Square? All right, really good. How many of you have heard of or know about Second Lines? Same question for how many of you have heard of or know about Mardi Gras Indians? So to sort of frame up some of the culture, let's go. Bo, let's start. Martin, Congo Square, briefly. We'll frame it up. We'll go down the line.
Well, we went through a lot of that with some of you today, but Congo Square was the only place in America that actually encouraged culture to be practiced and to have a regular place gathering for the slaves. It was on Sundays, and the French did not believe that anyone should work on Sunday. But they did encourage the culture as well, and Congo Square became a gathering place for all these different tribes of slaves to come together and share their culture, their music, their dance, their food, and also a place of communication where they could maybe find a missing family member or child. But it was the start of what we now know as world music, where all these different cultures came together to form this incredible culture, and it started really in Congo Square.
And then, so Brian, before we get into the rhythms, can you talk to us about the Second Line, where it comes from, and and then we'll back into the rhythms.
Yeah, for sure. So Second Line comes from New Orleans funeral culture. Typically, when people are bringing out the body for a funeral, the body and the pallbearers are considered the first line. And the second line is the band and the music and the people who continue to bring the celebration out. I think, a lot of times now that becomes a misnomer. Like a lot of people think of second line just as a certain kind of music, but it comes from that specific New Orleans funeral culture, which is very important. They start off usually with a dirge, like Closer Walk with Thee, and they'll end with something upbeat to celebrate the life, with something like I Fly Away or When the Saints Go Marching In. So.
And then, what does the term second line actually come from?
So it comes from funeral culture. So the first line is typically the body and the pallbearers, and the second line is the band and the family behind the body.
Do you guys know of any of the rhythms that come from New Orleans? You want to shout it out? No? Rob, you want to tell us some of them?
Well, I mean, it's interesting that, back to the second line and what he's saying, it's interesting how that's become like a tradition in New Orleans that we now have, there's a second line season. Yes. And the brass bands, it's usually through the fall and winter and spring months. And it's basically each Sunday is a chance for social aid and pleasure clubs of New Orleans to each throw their own second line. And it's an amazing free event in the city that they go to different neighborhoods according to where the social aid and pleasure club are. And it's about like a 4-hour parade, and it's lined with tons of brass bands, and it's where a lot of young musicians get a lot of cutting their teeth, I think, is getting booked and doing those second lines, and it fosters a huge brass band community that we have in New Orleans. But it's interesting, like Brian said, it's like, it's not that second line isn't itself a rhythm.
Yeah.
It's the idea of that, where it started as a funeral thing, and it's interesting on the dirge side of it, and it's classic New Orleans, where it's we need to have a moment of mourning, but after the body's been put to rest, we need to celebrate their life. And so, like he was saying, you start with a dirge, and the walk to the funeral, or to the laying of the body is more of a somber, slow walk. You know, it's a traditional thing. But then once the body's been laid to rest, you usually play something more jubilant, and it's more like, now let's celebrate this person's life in the most positive way that we can. And but it's not that there's a specific rhythm associated with it, but I think now it's been kind of tied in with brass band music, and it's associated with a really syncopated snare drum rhythm, which, as a bassist, I think Brian will be a lot better to illustrate that.
So Brian, you want to kind of, we're going to watch a clip before we sort of get more interactive, but I think to sort of frame it up, what would be some of the rhythms that you may hear in a second line, or you may hear in traditional New Orleans music?
Yeah, typically the clave. We have a really important rhythm in New Orleans from West Africa. It's called bambula. Can everybody say that for me? Bambula. So that's really the heartbeat of most, if not all, New Orleans music. Some people call it a habanero rhythm, which is from Cuba, but we call it bambula because a lot of our music is West African. And so, yeah, you're usually hearing that. And a lot of the earlier bands, coming out of brass bands, they were coming from more English and European traditions. So a lot of the rhythms were much more straighter. It would be more of like marches. But I think what you're going to see in this clip is more of a mix of both. So, yeah. I could demonstrate some of that after we play the video. Yeah.
Two. One more.
That song is so old, that's older than black pepper. It's become a real hot song around New Orleans. It's a big hot commodity, lives of jazz. Everywhere I play, they want me to play that song, you know. I'm Shannon Powell, the real king of trivia. My stuff come from watching and listening. I have never really had no formal training. You know, people ask me all the time, well, how do you know so many styles of music? I said, because I beat to eat. Yeah. If I don't beat, I don't eat. So I can't turn on no gig because I can't play a certain rhythm.
Yeah, a certain style.
You know, a certain style. Or can't read. Right. But I hurry up and learn how to read when I got with Harry Conner. Right. And then Harry helped me. Harry taught me a lot. Grandpa taught me a lot. Cats on the road taught me all kinds of stuff. You either in or you out. so deeply rooted around here. As a kid, you know, I hung out with the best of the old cats, and I was taught how to not only play the drum, but how to be a man, you know what I'm saying?
My family were my biggest influences. And they're the ones who got me involved in music. My uncles and my grandfather, they showed me how to play the drums. My grandfather, he showed me how to play with butter knives. He would beat out these rhythms for me, these old New Orleans grooves that he would beat out for me on a breakfast table. Then he'd take the knives from me and he'd laugh, oh boy, that's not how it goes. It goes like this. There's a unique and kind of distinct way that we play the bass drum here that just really identifies New Orleans sound.
When you're a New Orleans drummer, you have so many things up your sleeve. You know, you sit behind the drums and it's gumbo pouring out of you.
Play, you know, I'm relieved because now I feel like the torch has been passed back and a lot of the information that's been established and passed down from hurling them to me and all the cats who deal with New Orleans music, New Orleans drumming. Has been one of the biggest advocates promoting New Orleans drumming to the world, and he brought a lot of awareness to what we do here, that to the next generation. Cats might have forgot, but Stan let them know, man. You know, congratulations to all your success.
Yes,
thanks, bro. I know about cats be trying to hate, but I love you.
We love you. We love you, man.
For me, a lot of my influences growing up were the guys around here: Johnny Vodakovich, Shannon Powell, Herlin Riley, guys like James Black, who's no longer with us, but Shannon and Herlin really got to hang with him and learn from him. So not only am I drawing from the cats who came before me, Alvin Ford, he and I get together, man, and I show him stuff, and he shows me stuff.
We have to keep educating the younger generation to what we really have and how important it is. New Orleans have a lineage that's so deep in New Orleans drumming. I mean, way back. I mean, all this stuff took place in Congo Square.
As far back as the 1700s, enslaved Africans came to Congo Square on Sundays to celebrate and mourn their distant homes, beating drums, dancing, and singing. Congo Square is where the diverse African rhythms became the distinct New Orleans sound.
That was like the place where slaves or African Americans could go and celebrate on Sundays.
This was the only place during the time of slavery that the drums were allowed to be played in the whole of the United States. The spirit of the music was passed on through the rhythm.
They would get together and play the rhythms and the music of their home country. And you had different groups in Congo Square playing different African music from different parts of Africa.
There was an affinity with the African American slaves and the Indians. And they took on that culture. They all integrated. That lent itself to a different culture in New Orleans.
So Brian, maybe you could break down some of these rhythms that we heard and demonstrate for our audience members here a little bit about it and get participatory. Although,
Yeah. I was just excited to hear this.
Yes. Just before that, can I ask a question? Is there anything in particular that you all noticed in this video about all of the different drummers? Yeah, remember?
When they got on the drum set, they were all so passionate about what they were doing.
Yeah. I love that. Yes, that's one thing. Thank you. Anybody else?
You said they all learn at a young age? Yeah. Yep.
Yep, I agree. That's a big thing. Harlan talked about that. The way New Orleans drummers play the bass drum is very unique. You? Yep. That's another one.
It's a very similar style, New Orleans style. Very similar, they're all playing the bass.
Yes, I think those two was what I was looking for. One, a lot of our learning comes from the information being passed on from another person. And two, they're all of them were playing pretty much the same rhythms. But even Big Chief Bo could say this, depending on what neighborhood you go to, it's gonna sound different. It's the same rhythm, but the chants might be a little different. The way that the velocity of some of the rolls may be a little different. But all of this is the same stuff. It just shows that even with everyone having very synonymous and similar learnings, that our personality still is a part of what it is. And I think that is what I learned the most from all of these different guys. All of them are like, either my uncles or big brothers. I'm 27, and I've been learning from Harlan since I was 9 or 10 years old and being around him. So just seeing all of them play back to back and see how it all feels like New Orleans music, but it's all different. Like everybody has their own swag to it. I think is really cool. And there's another thing. There's one more thing that I wanted to see if anyone else noticed about what they were playing.
Most of them had it with the big four.
My man.
I said that right too.
My man. Yep, that was it. Even with all of the different stuff they was playing around it, they all ended with that big four rhythm, which is coming out of Bambula. So can we clap the Bambula real quick with each other?
Does anyone have any drumsticks?
Yeah, I forgot my sticks, y'all. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna show y'all some more stuff once I get some sticks. But yeah, that rhythm Bambula is the basis of pretty much all New Orleans music. And so even in this, when a lot of them are playing, when they're playing a lot of the traditional stuff, a lot of the older ways of playing the brass band rhythms, they're still ending on that big four that's in there. So bamboo, bamboo, bamboo.
combination of both.
That was a combination of both the Bambula or the Big Four at the end of the second line. But a lot of the grooves that they were playing in some of the earliest brass bands were a little more straighter. They would play something like this.
Brian Richburg, everybody. Well, that was like the like a European brass bark clip.
Exactly.
Beginning, and then
The last one I played was supposed to be a lot of the first couple of the first recordings of marches were very straight because they were coming from European music, and it was just very heavy on bass drum 1 and 3, snare rolls on 2 and 4, you know. But what happened along with the music because of Congo Square is that addition of the Big Four, a lot more rhythmic ambiguity, a lot more looseness even in the rolls, you know. A lot of things would carry over from like 2 and 4 to over the bar line of 3. So yeah.
much more danceable.
Much more danceable, for sure.
It's really almost hard to dance to the European one. And it's so straight, you know? It is. It's like it's
Mm-hmm.
March.
It's a march.
Yeah, it's just like it's amazing to.
Yeah.
And the way you bridged into the New Orleans, great job.
Any questions on that? No. Okay.
What is the Big Four?
Yeah, I mean, it's just what it says it is. It's B4. It's a real big. I'm sorry. It's B4. I'm sorry. Are we recording? Keep forgetting to use his mic. But it's the big. It's an emphasis on B4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4, 2, 3, and 1.
But Donald told me that it was because the way they counted that it was technically, what was it? They were beat 4 was because it's technically 4 and right.
Right.
But
Why they call it that? You said.
Why? But because it was the way. Man, I'm spacing out. I'm not going to do this justice. But that because it is, it's 4 and. Why would you call it the Big Four and not the Big 4 and?
I think because they count twice as fast.
Yeah, they were counting it twice as fast. Exactly. Because they were exactly.
Yeah.
They were. It was the way they were counting then that they were. That became that was beat 4.
Yeah.
And that's what makes New Orleans music funky.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that puts the funk and stink into it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of like you'll hear regular 4 on the floor type of stuff where people, you see them dance and they're dancing kind of straight ahead. And when you get this kind of funk, people start wiggling and doing all kinds of crazy movements.
Yeah. It can create uncontrolled bodily functions.
Like bug jump.
Well, if you see the film, I don't know if you guys are coming to the screening tonight. There's the gentleman Martin that you interviewed for, where he's like the one with the bow tie. He talks about the gyrations, and I'm trying to remember the gentleman's name, but he breaks it down very much in a very colloquial way.
And also, I don't think we're supposed to talk about this, but even, you know, I don't know if a lot of y'all listen to early rock and roll music, but like, you know, the early Little Richard stuff, the early Sugar Boy Crawford stuff, a lot of early chess music, it's all coming out of Bambula, you know. They're playing some Roomba stuff at the top, but if you listen to what the bass drum is playing before they start shuffling, it's boom, boom. Like Mardi Gras Mambo, you know. And then they'll start shuffling when it comes to the solos. But, you know, this is, and I think even when they gave an introduction to us speaking about this, I think you should know this whether you want to play jazz or not, if you're playing music in general, this is the basis of American music. And there's so many influences and so many branches that are connected to this beginning of New Orleans music, the beginning of the earliest forms of American music. So I think, if you want to play rock, if you want to play rock and roll, you want to play blues, country, you should know this, So yeah.
You actually took the next question away from me right now, so I was going to ask is where, I guess, so some of your homework is when you're listening to American popular music for whatever genre, to Brian's point, listen for the rhythms and see where you hear the bamboo, because it's even in, like, pop music today. They're all using it.
Well, you listen to rap music, you'll hear so many samples of New Orleans rhythms. I mean, the meters, for example, it's crazy how many times they've been sampled.
So to keep things moving, because I know you guys have to go to your next thing shortly here, we wanted to focus on one of the other cultures of it as part of it, and this is where I'm going to come to Bo. And some of you, we've talked about it, but Bo is Big Chief Bo Dallas Jr. of the Wild Magnolias. And Bo, could you talk to us just a little bit? I know we've touched on it. We have the amazing suit that you beaded behind you. Could you talk to us a little bit about sort of Mardi Gras Indian culture? And then we're going to play the clip from the film that features Bo and some of the music. And then we're actually going to try to see if we can squeeze in a song with some rhythms before we leave. But Bo, please tell us.
How y'all doing? I say, how y'all doing? So what y'all see behind me is a Mardi Gras Indian suit, which is handmade by me. In New Orleans, you make your own Indian suit. And believe me, it takes time. Like right now, once I leave here with y'all, I'm going back to the hotel and get finished sewing. And these Indian suits take 1 year to make. Mardi Gras is on a Tuesday every year. By Friday, I'm back sewing again for the following year. And these suits are very much heavy, y'all. Very much heavy. I think the last time I weighed my biggest Indian suit, it was like 300 pounds with everything on it. And you're wearing it for about 8 hours on Mardi Gras Day. And we're walking. So that's leading me to, if you love something that you're doing, you're not gonna feel it. So by y'all playing music, I want y'all to love it, feel it. I know y'all play off of sheet music and stuff like that, but when you're doing that, still play with feelings. And that's something that New Orleans musicians have. Because my band, I tell them straight up, do not play off the record. Because people don't want to come here, you play the same thing they can listen to on the CD. Play what you feel, and that's gonna get me pumped up. So back to the Indian culture, these suits are made by hand. Every bead that's on there is beaded by hand. Every man, every child beads their own Indian suit. I have 2 daughters. Both of my daughters started sewing at the age of 2 on their own Indian suits. And it's nothing I pushed them to do. One of them got it one morning, she just started sewing without me even knowing. Just like with me, my dad was a Mardi Gras Indian. Me being nosy, I cut one of my mama purses, took all the beads off it, and started sewing. To all the women in here, y'all know y'all got buku purses. Y'all have a lot of purses. And the day I went cut the purse, that's the day she went look for it. But these Indian suits are very much heavy and they're very much expensive. So, and when I say heavy, y'all think I'm exaggerating. I pulled 2 people on stage earlier and they both looked like they were about to tilt over when they just picked up one piece. But these suits are very much handmade and it comes from the heart.
And if Martin, you want to frame up this clip and then we'll take a watch of it and then we'll see about how much time we have left for our friend Pearson.
Which one was?
Mardi Gras Indian clip.
Okay. Yeah, just to kind of fill in a little bit more about Mardi Gras Indians, it's not just about the suit, it's a community. And being a big chief, he has the responsibility of his tribe, and it's about being a good member of the community at large and a good community member within the tribe. If you don't do your homework, he's probably the first person the teacher calls. They do things for the community. They're always doing something, including sewing. I'm surprised he's not sewing right now. But the clip you're going to see does feature Bo and features Big Monk Boudreaux, Big Chief Monk Boudreaux. Just explaining a little bit about the Mardi Gras culture and how it came to be.
The melding of the two cultures produced the Mardi Gras Indians. For well over 200 years, this tradition has been one of the most colorful in New Orleans.
The tribal culture is kind of secret, but people still see it. Some say that Native Americans took in Africans who didn't want to be enslaved anymore. And we had to change from being African blatantly to putting a mask on, masking Indian, to keep the culture alive.
Jumping and rolling, jump up and down, and not gonna fall down, and the Indian roller.
African Americans, we couldn't go on St. Charles and Canal Street. So in the neighborhoods, they started Mardi Gras Indians, skeleton men, and all that started in the neighborhoods for people to go to older folks and let them see Mardi Gras. Back in the days, Indians used to really fight, carry machetes, knives, bow and arrows, and they would really use these things. When you say Mardi Gras Indians, people used to pull their families inside and shut their shutters, because that's how bad it was. Now people like my dad, they changed the game. They make the suits more elaborate and less violent. He was 71 when he died, so it's still kind of hard and do paying dedication to him without Indian suits, my whole gang, which I'm proud of. At the top is a picture of him in the middle, my mom on one side and me on the other side. My mom, she has a front apron with both of these pictures on it from her first year.
When I first met him in 1976, I was really afraid of Indians. He kind of brought me into the Indian nation. That got the fear out of me about it because I got into the spiritual part of it.
You're in the wrong part of town, see you in the wrong part of town. Catch you tonight, what's gonna go down? Catch you tonight, what's gonna go down? You're in the wrong part of town.
There's actually a big separation between like uptown and downtown, and in the Mardi Gras Indian world, we would be considered rivals. Because he's a big chief and I'm a big chief. And he's from the 7th Ward, I'm from the 9th Ward. We was like, man, let's do 79ers, man. We wanted to show everybody else that they could do the same thing. We need to get past that point of actually really hating someone just because they are from another ward.
What is Mardi Gras Indian to New Orleans, man? Mardi Gras Indians is New Orleans. It's everything.
This is a warrior culture, you know what I'm saying? Things can happen, but for the most part, this is about being pretty, man. It's about showing off your suit.
He can't meet me in this and then come back and meet me in it again. And you old, you got the same suit on. I'm brand new, man. You lost. It's over with. That's the competition.
You're in the wrong part of town.
This has been in this city all of those years. The beat that you hear, the bamboo beat, you know, that's a beat that comes from Africa.
We are Choctaw Indians, and we've been in New Orleans for quite a long time. Back in the 1700s, they had a tribe of Indians in New Orleans, black Indians, and we still here. They call me Monk, right? Because when we was coming up, they had a lot of fruit trees in New Orleans, and I was so small, and the big guys couldn't go up there, so they could send me up there to shake them down, you know? So they said he up there like a little monkey, too, and I used to be up there going from one limb to another. That's how I got the name Monk. Oh, this is hand soap, beads, rhinestones, sewed on canvas. When I was a kid, I was taught this, and I teach my grandkids today. I hand it down. When I come out Mardi Gras Day, I'm dressed. Like if you go to church in a suit, when I'm dressed, I'm in my suit. My whole family come out with me Mardi Gras Day. We gonna come out and have a good time. We don't want no trouble. We ain't gonna run that trouble coming, but we ain't gonna start no trouble.
Mark, do you have any of your material you might want to do?
Fire Water would be a pretty easy one, yeah.
That's my favorite.
I
love it.
We're gonna have a room full of killing musicians who can all kind of just fall in.
It's a feeling that you have that was deep in you. Like if you listen to our music, you will feel it. You feel it in here.
whole tradition is growing because you're getting more younger people into it. And when I started, I was 8 years old at the time. By the time I made 12, I was making my whole Indian suit. But my dad was preparing me for what I'm doing now. You can imagine sewing over 1,000 hours every year, man.
If it's not in your spirit and it's not in your heart and in you, you'll never be able to do this. To put in the kind of time, days, and months to form something like this, it's not that easy.
Being an Indian is not something you just do on carnival, man. It's just like a way of life. It teaches you determination. It teaches you when you start something, how to finish it.
Us as chiefs, it's our job to build your tribe, and get as many kids involved in as you can. One of the main things that I think is very important about Mardi Gras Indian is to keep it going.
We're just making it bigger and better, and we're keeping the tradition going. This is the passage of technique. Without people like Monk and Bo Dials, man, we wouldn't be
Sound pretty good there.
Can we do more? Can we do it again? Can we go again?
Yeah, I need but one.
We do, we got it. It's true, it's true. We did get it.
I know, yeah, that was hot, man.
I think Dr. John said it best. When you're with Monk, you're in the presence of
So as you can see, there's a lot of traditions in New Orleans, more than we can cover in 40 minutes. But I'll say the last final thing, I'm going to come to Bo just to talk about sort of, as you see, within all these different cultures and traditions, there are a lot of songs. And that's sort of the backbone of a lot of these things. Can you talk to us a little bit about sort of those traditional songs within the Mardi Gras Indian culture and where they come from?
So a lot of our songs come from, like they were saying, the bamboo beat and stuff like that. But the actual wording, just like how the Africans did, it was like songs it was a message behind it. So like earlier, you heard the song Little Liza Jane. So I'm gonna can y'all help me with that right quick and I'll just show y'all. So like he explained earlier, he be touching on so many points that other people want to see. But it depends on where you're from. With Little Liza Jane, you have so many different styles of Little Liza Jane. You have the second line style, you have the Mardi Gras Indian style. With the second line style, they sing about a big fat woman. With Mardi Gras Indians, we sing about the culture of us sewing. So I'm gonna have y'all help me. So if y'all could just say, Little Liza Jane. Sing, oh, Little Liza Jane. That sounded so wonderful, so wonderful. That's cool. Now I'm about to get a tambourine. So y'all ready? Oh, Little Liza Jane. Oh, Little Liza Jane. Say, I got a woman from New Orleans. Say, Mardi Gras morning, it can't be beat. Say, Little Liza Jane. Wait, somebody off. We gonna start it, we're gonna let y'all jump in with us. Y'all ready? Yeah. I think that'll be a little easier. Sing, oh, Little Liza Jane. Oh, Little Liza Jane. Say, Mardi Gras morning, it won't be long. Little Liza Jane. Say, Mardi Gras morning on the TV screen. Little Liza Jane. Say, I don't know now, but I've been told. Say you want mad, since boy you got a soul. In the morning, oh, Little Liza Jane. Oh, Little Liza Jane.
So hopefully y'all learn a little bit about more of the cultures and more of the rhythms and all the things that make New Orleans and New Orleans music what it is, and its culture so rich. With that, I don't know if anyone has any closing thoughts or remarks, but I do know we're at time. But if anyone has any closing.
How about some questions? No questions? Come on. How do Mardi Gras Indians prepare for 8 Day?
It's no preparation for it. Just by the time you get finished making the Indian suits, just like they said in the video, it takes like 1,000 hours a year to make the Indian suit. So by the time you get up Mardi Gras morning and put it on, that's your joy. Because every Mardi Gras, for some reason, I start crying for some reason, like a big baby, before I start walking. But it's just the joy of that you made it to Mardi Gras. You did all these sacrifices, you didn't push bills aside. Your wife want to go out, you can't go out with her. Your friends want to go out, you can't do that because you're sitting inside sewing. Like they could tell you, they be going out. When we on the road, I be in my room because I be sitting in there sewing. And a lot of times you got to sacrifice, but to hit the streets Mardi Gras morning, to look how you want to look, that's the joy right there.
Hey, but talk about like the Mardi Gras morning, like coming out of you come out of Second and Triads, right?
Yes.
And so all over town, there's all these different tribes, and pretty much the tribes kind of pick a spot that they'll come out and come out Mardi Gras morning.
So Mardi Gras morning, when I first get dressed, I'm coming out my house. And out my house, a lot of people do know where I stay at, or some people don't. I might have about a good 50 people, 100 people waiting for me just to come out the house.
To see the suit.
To see the suit.
Because it's a new suit.
Right. And then when I come out my house, I don't really have everything on until I get to my original spot. So my original spot is on 2nd and Drive in New Orleans. And that's been Wild Magnolia's headquarters since the 50s. And I still carry that tradition on.
Right there, right?
Huh?
A couple ballrooms.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Rehearsals is happening.
It's 2 right now. It used to be 3 ballrooms all on one little block. So when I come out, I have hundreds of people just sitting out there waiting for me to come out the door with 15 Indians that's standing outside protecting the door. So, and when I say protected, because they don't want no more Indians to come to me before I get dressed. So you have a spot boy, flag boy, wild man, and all of them with their brand new suits on, standing outside. So once you hit the door, everybody starts cheering and singing, and we start our parade route.
It's, I guess I'll just say, I'm somewhat of an outsider. I've lived in New Orleans for 36 years, but I grew up in DC and moved down there. And I just say as an outsider, it's absolutely the most deeply rich cultural city I've ever been in America, but possibly the world. It's pretty deep.
Amen.
In the back, in the middle, right there.
When you make your suit, do you have it pre-planned ahead of time, or does it kind of change as you go?
So every year it changes. This year it's crazy because I'm doing Congo Square, and we talking about Congo Square so much. So my Indian suit this year is based on Congo Square. It's coming from Africa going to Congo Square. So the whole Indian suit is based on that. It just depends on how you feel. And like I see people when Obama first got in office, somebody beat Obama and made that the Indian suit. I saw somebody's brother got killed on the street, so he beat the whole scene with the police cars and the body laying on the ground. So it just depends on what you're feeling at that time. Another example, I saw a lady, a guy, his mom wanted to get cancer. So his Indian suit was pink, and he did the pink ribbon with her face and different things. So whatever you're going through at that time, and the spirit is gonna move you. Same thing with the color. I don't know what color I'm wearing, but something's gonna snap into me at the last minute, or I'm gonna wear white, or I'm gonna wear blue, and that's the color I'm gonna go with.
Do you keep every suit you make?
So this year here makes 36 years I've been massing. So right now, to be honest, I have like 30 suits just lingering around. And the reason I got rid of some of them, because like, if I have a little kid that want a mask, or the parents can't afford it, I'll take patches off my suit and put on the little kid, just so they can hit the streets for one time. So a lot of times I tear down suits just to help other people. But yeah, I have a few suits up. I have like 2 that's in museums and stuff like that. So I think we're out of time. Oh, okay, that's the last one. Oh, I'm sorry. So this suit here was based on me. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be conceited or nothing. but I beat it myself. By me mastering so many years, I had so many different colors, so every patch was kind of designated to me. But on the other one, it was the Indian meeting the Pilgrims. So, like I say, every year you just get a different focus on what you want to bead on. And I had the guy come up to kind of see the weight of it, and he was like, "Oh, it's heavy." But every year you could just do what you want it to be. You know, it don't matter what it has to be a certain theme. It don't have to be just Indians. Now ages, they are really drifting off to other aspects. Back in the days, it had to be just Indians. Indians riding horses, Indians killing buffaloes. But then I have a thing, I don't like Indian, I don't make an Indian suit with Indians fighting Indians. In all my years I'm mastering, I never beaded violent Indian suit because I just think they have enough fighting going on already. So I'm not about to put it on my Indian suit at the same time.
So I think with that, we're gonna say thank you to our wonderful panelists here. And hand it back over to Bruce.
So I really want to thank everybody here. You know, this has meant so much for us at Jazz House, and it's so aligned to what we stand for as an organization. And thank you for sharing your music, your culture with us and with our students. And you touched on so many things, such a wide breadth of information, from the roots and origin of the music, all the way to the effects of Hurricane Katrina, to some of the famous musicians in the tradition, to the culture of the Mardi Gras Indians. And I'm very grateful that you did that, because this is so much of this information we don't get in jazz school or normal history classes about New Orleans. You know, the things that you guys shared with us, all of us, can only come from people who live and breathe that culture. And as all aspiring jazz musicians in here, we are very, very grateful, because this is the birthplace of our music, and we're just very, very appreciative of everything you guys have done.
Echo that so much. I echo that, and to have you here to share this, they must be, I hope they can come up after and walk by to see the intricacies, but really the cultural legacy, the heritage, the cultural bearers. I think it is, this is the fertile ground that you are standing upon. You were here with NEA Jazz Master Billy Hart yesterday, NEA Jazz Master Kenny Barron yesterday. That is the fertile ground that you work on when you are sitting with your instructors, when you are playing and practicing at home and together. That's the rich legacy that you are going to carry forward, and that you are carrying forward. And that's why they came on their few hours, came in early, because it was important for them to pass this to you. And that's the joy, but that's the legacy, and that means that's your role now. I just want to say, Tony, thank you so very much. You know, Tony, I want to say, Tony Sylvester.
Can I do one thing before we leave? Can I do one thing before we leave? I need everybody to get up for me right quick. I need everybody to get in the middle. Can we get some lights in the house, please? Can we get some lights in the house? I want to see all these faces. Come on, y'all. I need y'all to make some noise out there. Put your hands up.
I love that. I love that moment. I just want to, if you can give me a moment, I just want to say that there are so many gifts, and I want to recognize the GMA-owned Prima Foundation, because they made this moment possible. And also, Tony has been supporting, and we talked about this, so much of this program for over a decade, the GMA-owned Prima Foundation. You guys, that is that because that cultural heritage and that legacy that they invested in you. It's just such an important moment to really think about the investment that people make in you, because you will be called upon to make that investment in someone else. And I want to just bring up two individuals to join us at this time, because this is, and you guys talked about it in the class, and we're all thinking about it, the Smithsonian Institution is one of the most important institutions, cultural institutions in America. And we are so honored that they have selected the Jazz House to partner and collaborate and be a collaborator with. And so this bigger framing that you have had, how many been in all the history classes with Kristen and Jerome talking about and visiting the 11 cities that have shaped America? I think it's all of you, right? Again, it's all of you, because it's not enough that you just blow notes out of your horn. You got to understand where it's coming. It's exactly what you spoke of. So I want to bring up two individuals, the Undersecretary of the Smithsonian, Dr. Monique and I want to invite you, Clifford Murphy, and he is the Director of the Center for Folklife and Cultural Heritage. When you think about your culture, you need these institutions that revere and make sure we have a place. And you do that for us. I want to thank you so very much, because you know, when you look at that lineup and everything that's going on, it is because of the Smithsonian selecting us to be a part of this moment and have this national conversation about our democracy, our communities. And so I want to thank you for that. Can I just ask you to say a couple of words? I mean, here we are. This is what we're doing, you guys. It's called Jazz, the Sound of Freedom Finding Its Voice. And you've been listening to the voice of freedom every single day. And today, its origins. And we've been visiting all of these cities. And thank you so very much, Dr. Chisholm.
Yes. Well, hello. Good afternoon. Start off, can we just give a huge, big round of applause to Melissa and to Kristen? So I am really fortunate to be blessed to work with colleagues like Cliff and his team at the Smithsonian. They have done a lot of the legwork to make it possible for the Smithsonian to be part of this. And I think they'll tell you better than I can tell you, but there was a very special vibe that we got from the Jazz House kids. You know, the origin story, the way in which the community has embraced the process, but the way in which Melissa is thinking about legacy is amazing and profound. I've had a chance today to kind of pop into some different spaces and to observe some of you. And I want to just say, as an educator, my life's passion is to think about how we can create spaces where youth have an opportunity to thrive. And this is absolutely one of those spaces where the support, the cultivation of the skill, the craft, the mentorship that you are getting is actually a place where everybody around you cares about your thriving. And I just can't say how proud I am of each and every one of you being here. taking your craft so seriously. And I can't wait to see how you pay it forward to those who are coming behind you. So I just want to say thank you for allowing us to be here with you.
I mean, it's exciting to be here. I think just two things real quick. One, watching the presentation just now, the panel discussion, it is amazing to be in the presence of NEA Jazz Masters. And also in the film, you saw a couple of NEA National Heritage Fellows, Bo Dallas and Mo Boudreau. That's sort of like the folk life and cultural heritage cousin of Jazz Masters. Donald Harrison was in there, NEA Jazz Master. And you know, when I look at this work, it's a privilege to be here. It's a privilege to be able to do this work at the Smithsonian. The work that we're doing in 2026 is really about putting a spotlight on our cultural democracy. And when I hear jazz music, when I watch a jazz performance, it is an embodiment of that, right? The sounds come from so many different places. The performers may look different from one another. It's about people finding a center, right? People finding a common song and bringing different aspects of themselves and where they're from and where we're all from into the music. It's a beautiful thing. I am thrilled that you have invited us into your space. It's an honor to be here. Thank you so much. Hope you've had a great week and a great festival.
Beyond words, I know you have a concert this evening. You had a wonderful one last night. Who's performing tonight? Ooh, all right. All right, so I know that there are, I know that you're going to be heading to all of your large ensembles next, right? And so we're going to be popping in those. Who had a chance to sit down in a story circle yesterday? What was, tell me, was that, it was really fun? It was beautiful? Did you share? Were you comfortable? Did you learn something about yourself? Did you learn something about someone else? Who then had a conversation today? Let's see, we've also had some conversations today. A lot of your teaching assistants have, and faculty. So we have to thank you for allowing us into that. So Birsa, I know we got more swinging to do. Got a lot more music to play. Thank you so very much. Thank you all, and thank you, Tony. Take me to the river. Thank you, Smithsonian. Thank you. Thank you. We expect big things. Big things. Big things will come of you. Wonderful.
All right, y'all. With that being said, we got a gig tonight. We got a gig on Saturday. We got a festival to play at. So come on, let's get to rehearsal. Come on.